Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Lamar, and if you don't know, I'm a six-figure Amazon seller. I'm doing about $80,000 a month on Amazon right now. These are my own private label products that I've designed and manufactured, and I'm utilizing Amazon FBA. In this video, I'm going to be talking about a really successful product launch that I just recently did. In the first half of the video, I'm going to be walking through the timeline of events, exactly what happened, when it happened, and the events that I took to reach these results. If you're a complete beginner at Amazon FBA, you're going to want to make sure you stick around to the end of this video because that's where I'm going to detail the exact strategy and tactics that I used to get these results. Before I jump into the video here, I did also want to mention that I just came out with 2 video courses. The first one is all about how to set up Amazon PPC campaigns, and that is free for a limited time. This is one of the most successful strategies that I use when launching products on Amazon, and as you're going to see within this video, I'm going to be showing you just how successful it is. And if you're interested in learning all about that strategy, you're going to want to make sure that you check out the link below. The second course is a full-blown step-by-step process exactly showing you how to launch and scale products on Amazon FBA. I think you're going to get a lot of value out of both of those courses, and I encourage you guys to check out the links below. But without further ado, let's jump into today's video, and I'm going to be showing you the exact timeline of events of how to do a successful product launch on Amazon FBA. I first, guys, just wanted to show you my Amazon Seller Central account sales here. So this is right now month to date, and I'm going to change this to custom, and we're just going to take a look at last month's. So that'd be May 31 to 5/31. So last month I did $85,000 on Amazon, which is really awesome. I'm really happy with that result. I did just over 3,000 units sold. So 3,000 units sold, that's pretty decent volume. As I already mentioned, I've launched over 70 different SKUs on Amazon, and the following case study is just going to be an example on one of them. So let's jump in. So now let's flip over here and take a look at these 2 graphs. The top graph are sessions. So this is essentially unique customers viewing my Amazon product listing page, and that is the blue line up here. So that's sessions. And then the red line is units sold. Okay, so sessions are depicted over here on the left hand side, and units sold are over here on the right hand side, or the blue and the red line. On the bottom here is my gross profit. Okay, so the way that I calculate gross profit is the retail price or the sale price minus landed cost of goods sold minus Amazon fees minus Amazon PPC. And the difference, or what's left over, is my gross profit. As you can see, this is the timeline. So I started this product launch on 2/21/2019, and I brought it all the way up to 4/11/2019. So just about 6 or 7 weeks. And actually down here at the bottom, I have, this is day number 1, and it goes all the way across here, and I've just written out notes of the different actions or different things that took place on the corresponding day. So as you can see, this is a 50-day launch. So on day number 1 here, the product goes live. I set the price at that $19.99 price point, which I just explained was aggressively priced in the market, and it was also a good value or bundled product. So in the customer's eyes, it was a really good value for the $19.99 price point. At the same time, I started PPC, and you can kind of see the impact here. So right away on day number 0, obviously we have 0 sessions. I'm looking at the blue line here. As soon as I kick off PPC, sessions start to spike a little bit. Now it takes about a day or 2 for sessions really to start kicking in, or you start generating traffic with your Amazon PPC. So we don't start seeing sessions really start to spike until maybe the 3rd or 4th day here, okay, where we're starting to experience about 20 unique customers to the Amazon page. And then really what happens is, I guess 10 days in, the PPC really starts to kick in. And that's where we start to experience, my minimum threshold of at least 50 sessions per day. In this case, it looks like on average, we were experiencing about 60 sessions per day, which is great. And we start generating sales. So 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 days in, as soon as I hit that 20 session mark, I sold 2 units, which is a great sign. So if you can kick off PPC and you start selling, within your first week, 1 to 2 units a day, that's a really good sign. If we come down here and look at gross profit, 3-4 days in, gross profit is going to go negative. And the reason for that is because we're priced aggressively. So we're not making money. We set the price at or a little bit below break even. And I'm running aggressive PPC. So because I'm running aggressive PPC, or I'm spending, 25 down here, $50, per day on Amazon PPC, it's going to run me into the negative or into the red. So 16 days into my product launch, I received my first review, which is really awesome. It's really aggressive. I'm really happy with that result. Getting your first review within 16 days is really a great result. I think that, it had a lot to do with the product offering, the uniqueness of the product itself. The next major milestone here, on day 19, I raised the price $5 to $24.99. And I pretty much did that directly after I hit a major milestone, or I sold, it was 9 units on that day. So I basically sold 9 units on the day before, and then the following day I raised the price to $24.99. And the reason for that is we don't need to sell 9 units at a loss, right? Because correspondingly, you can take a look at the same day, and I was losing $50 a day. So I want to try to start to off-weight that and gain my margin back. So I'm not going to touch PPC just yet. However, I do want to start raising my price and maintaining or achieving a minimum of 2 sales, but anywhere between 2 to 5 sales per day is a really great result within the first 2 to 3 weeks. About 3 weeks in, or 21, 22 days in, I lowered my PPC bids by 15%. So I'm going to be showing you an overview of just how to run Amazon PPC. But at this point, I lowered my bids by 15%, and I started my exact match ad group within my Amazon PPC. So as you can see, margin starts to improve because I've raised my price and I'm cutting down on PPC now, or that overspending. And as you can see, as I decreased my Amazon PPC spending, sessions really didn't start to change too much. And that's because my organic listing started ranking. So when you start generating this many sales right from the get-go, or during that honeymoon period, Amazon is definitely going to give your product listing a little bit of favoritism and start to rank your product more easily. 25 days in, I received my second review. About on that same day, I hit another 9 unit sold day. At that point, I raised my price again. So now I'm selling at $29.99, and this is 25 days in. 27 days in, I got my third review. And right about at that point, we start breaking even. Now, as I said, this is a really great product launch, super successful. I would say, though, it's not realistic to expect your product to be profitable or have a gross profit within the first 30 days, sometimes even 60 days. You're going to have to run it at a loss for a period of time here until you can build up your momentum and really seed your product listing within Amazon's algorithm. In this case, it took me 30 days to reach that break-even point. However, it might take you a little bit shorter in some cases or longer. I've experienced both. 30 days in, I added some negative keywords to my broad ad group and added some exact keywords to my exact ad group. Again, if you're not familiar with these terms, don't worry. I'm going to be explaining this in the Amazon PPC videos. But essentially what I'm doing here is making optimizations to optimize my Amazon PPC campaigns. 32 days in, I received my 4th review. 35 days in, 5th review. And this is really where it starts to get profitable. So I sold another almost 10 units on this day, or 35 days in, and now I'm flipped it. Now I'm grossing about $50 on this day, and on average here, we start to see about $25 to $50 in gross profit per day. 37 days in, I raised my price from $29.99 to $34.99. And this was again after selling 10 units in a single day. I raised the price once again. 37 days in, I made a couple more Amazon PPC or advertising optimizations. We also received our 6th review. 40 days in, 7th review. 42 days in, 8th review. And you can also see what the price does. We're having a bunch of nice high spike days, throughout the first couple of weeks here. Now I'm selling at $34.99, which is my target price for this product. I can sell this product at $34.99, and that's roughly 25, my 30% margin. And we're still selling between 3, 5, 4 units. I mean, this is a great result. This is what I'm looking for. I'm looking to sell, anywhere from 3 to 5 units per day at that 30%. 44 days in, I essentially lowered my PPC or my advertising budget to $1. So this is a strategy that I'm going to be talking about later on just how to run out of stock. But essentially, I identified that we were going to be running out of stock, and I want to limit the amount of advertising budget that I'm putting forward, because it just doesn't make sense to spend on advertising if I know I'm going to be running out of stock within a 2-month period. So I identified that I'm going to be running out of stock. So I kill the PPC or lower it to $1 per day. And then I reorder or put in another reorder for 500 units with my supplier. So by lowering my PPC budget to 1 day, just reduces my overall spend, but still all the optimizations that I've been making over the past 45 days are still hold true and are still within the campaigns. So as soon as I'm able to restock and I have enough inventory, then I'll be able to increase that budget once again and kick off just where I left off. But 46 days in, I get the 9th review, and then 48 days in, we receive our 10th review. And at this point, I'm generating $25, $50 per day, and this is a super great result for a successful product launch. Now I wanted to show you guys this so that you guys have something to compare to when you're doing your product launches. This is probably close to my 70th product launch. So I've kind of refined a lot of these practices. I know exactly what to do, when to do it. So I hope that kind of timeline of events there was helpful for you guys. I wanted to give you something to compare to. Obviously, this is a very successful product launch for myself. As I've been mentioning, I've launched over 70 different products on Amazon, so I've had time to really refine this craft and these strategies and maximize them to their most ability. Now what I want to do is really dig down in here and break down what exactly makes up a successful product launch on Amazon so that you guys can go out there and replicate the exact same success for your product that you're launching. So let's dive in here and take a look, dissect here what the key components of a successful product launch on Amazon just looks like. And the first thing to mention here is a market test MOQ of 500 units. Now, if you've been following along in my videos, you know that I'm a big proponent of doing small MOQs of 500 units so that we can test and validate the market. Typically what happens is with 500 units, it's not that large of a risk where you have to shell out a lot of money, and in a worst case scenario, if the product fails, it's not the end of the world. On the flip side of that, 500 units is enough to break into the market, see what kind of sales and demand there actually is for your product, and it gives you enough time to conduct that launch test and then reorder without going out of stock. In the example that I showed you, I mean, I had to shut down PPC because I sensed that I've been going out of stock. However, as soon as I did that, I kind of dampened sales a little bit. I was able to reorder, and I'll probably won't run out of stock on this specific product. I'll be selling it at a higher margin because I was able to maintain that higher price, and because I killed PPC, I'm basically just adding more gross profit to my bottom line. So I see that as a win-win scenario for this product launch. So the next key component here is having a unique product. You absolutely have to have a unique product when breaking into the market. The times of just private labeling or slapping your logo on a generic product are over. You need to have a unique product. You need to have some sort of innovation breaking into the market that makes you stand out from the competition and sets you apart so that you can gain that initial traction, so that you can gain those customer eyeballs, so that they're initially interested in your product, they're willing to take a chance with your product because it's different and better in most cases. The third key component here is having an insert card that drives reviews. Now, I've covered insert cards quite a bit. There's a couple of cool creative things that you can do to the insert card to essentially drive reviews. What this basically comes down to at the end of the day is providing a wow factor to the customer so that the customer has a above and beyond experience with your product. When you provide a wow factor or you go above and beyond within your product packaging, within your insert card, it drives an emotional reaction for the customer, and then therefore that leads to reviews on Amazon. When you go above and beyond, the customer goes above and beyond. Fourth on the list is having an optimized listing that drives your organic rank on Amazon. This goes a lot into having proper keywords within your listing. Amazon SEO is super important, and as you could see in the example, within the first 10-15 days, I was already getting organic ranking, and I was getting organic sales with all my product listing. And that just goes back to seeding those relevant keywords within my product listing so that Amazon completely understands what it is that my product actually is, and then driving sales directly out of the gate within that honeymoon period. Amazon is just going to naturally start to rank your product as long as they correctly understand it. And having that proper Amazon SEO within your listing is just going to compound that effect of driving organic sales. Fifth on the list is having a high perceived value product offering. And let me give you an example here. Let's say everyone in the market is selling for $20 and all your competition is giving 1 unit of that product away. Well, if you break into the market and you have 3 units of that product and you're also selling at $20, that is a high perceived value product offering, right? You are offering much more value to the customer for the identical same price. The customer is going to be more willing to choose your product over the competition. They're going to see your product offering as high perceived value, which just leads into that whole emotional experience that I was just talking about with the insert card. So it all kind of ties together here, but having a high perceived value is something to also consider with your product launch. Sixth on the list is having a pricing strategy. So I'm a big proponent of setting your price at break even or below break even to essentially undercut the market. You're gonna lose money initially, and as you can see in the example, I was losing money for the first month almost. Sometimes it can go much longer than that. But the idea here is that you have an aggressive pricing strategy that gets you traction within your market. Over time, you essentially raise it to gain your margin back, but at the same time, kind of keep sales consistent. So it's a balance between volume, pricing, and margin, and you got to kind of know when to pull each lever and when to do it. And last but not least is aggressive Amazon PPC strategy. When I'm launching my products, I use 3 campaigns. I do an automatic campaign, I do a manual campaign, and I do a product targeting campaign. This is probably one of the most successful strategies to launching on Amazon. It's a key component to every single one of my product launches. If you guys are interested in knowing exactly step by step how I set up my PPC campaigns for each one of my product launches, I'm offering a free mini course for a limited time in the link below. you want to make sure that you check that out. That's where I'm going to break down literally the exact step-by-step process I used during this product launch. And that is the main strategy I use to drive sessions to my product listing and get those initial sales. Now you'll notice here that all of these key components is a holistic approach to running a successful product launch on Amazon. You can't just do 1 or 2 or 3 of these items and hope that you're going to be successful. You need to be running all of them cohesively together at the same time, knowing when to launch PPC, knowing when to adjust price, knowing how to raise and lower these levers so that you can set your product up for long-term success on Amazon. The other thing you're going to notice here is I'm not talking about any short-term tactics here. I'm not using any giveaways, which are really expensive. I'm not doing any review groups. I'm not doing any black hat tactics. All of these components of this product launch strategy are here to stay. They are fundamental core marketing product launch strategies that you're going to be able to use over and over and over again. This isn't some short-term hack. You learn these strategies inside and out, and you reuse these strategies over time. You're going to get better and better and better at running these product launches, just as I have. Now, I hope that you've gotten value out of this video. If you're interested in knowing exactly step-by-step process of how to pick out products on Amazon and launch products successfully on Amazon, I do have a full-blown video course. You can check that out in the link below. However, I would ask though, minimally, if you've gotten value out of this video, please hit that thumbs up button or drop a comment in the section below, and I'll be more than happy to answer any other questions that you might have. Without further ado, guys, like I said, I hope that this video has been helpful, and I'll see you on the next one.